Well, you came to us asking for support in defining your strategy for the company we recently acquired of software, which has developed a new solution for the current networks. So the big question here is, how are we going to test and develop the software to be ready for global markets? So we have come up with several alternatives.
We have two alternatives. The first one is the acquisition of a small operator, a mobile operator, and the second is establish a partnership with a mobile operator.
So in order to decide what is the best option, we did a scorecard and we conclude that acquisition is the best option.
Now, two different questions arise. First, why Singapore between all the Asian markets? And second, why M1 between all the three companies? Relative to the question of Singapore, Singapore is a very unique market with unique conditions. It is a very mature market. It has a very cultural specific when it comes to consumers, and it is quite saturated with a penetration rate of 130%.
In order to choose which mobile operator is more suitable to your strategy, we did a small scorecard which confirmed M1 as the best option. Then we did a more careful analysis of the reasons to acquire M1. Let me just enhance its weakened positions and the good conditions to test for G software.
In order to have a better knowledge of Singapore context, we have decided to make a past analysis. It is especially important to notice that Singapore has a master plan to be the first in harnessing Infocom, and according to Global Information Technology Report, Singapore is the third world economic in exploitation, global ECT. Now we are going to present some market trends, and note that although there is a exponential growth of subscription number, it's also important to refer the turn of second generation to third generation. Singapore's telecommunication market is a profitable one, with a broad emergence of opportunities. It has a low competitive structure and a high growth perspective.
To have a better knowledge of this company, we did a SWOT analysis. First, I will start from the internal perspective. In the strengths of this company, we have that Mobile One is one of the most innovative company in telecommunication service, and it had a wide range of value-added service. In the side of weakness, we have that it recently lost his CEO Nel Montefiore, and also it has been losing constant market share, and Mobile One is now the third biggest company in this sector. From an external side, let me point out has an opportunity the IN 2015 master plan and also the 4G system that will be a complete replacement for current networks. As a threat, we can refer the fast change of consumers' preference.
At this point, a new question arises. What are the environmental forces that will affect our plan? For that, we did a brainstorming, which results you can see at my left. And I would just like to underline the importance of the corporate takeover market, the importance of the internal forces, and the importance of either. Now that we have analyzed the environmental forces, it is of extreme importance to take a deeper look at our stakeholders. We did this stakeholders analysis in two different stages. First, we identified the relevant stakeholders for this project and their specific interests in the same. And then we did, as you can see at my left, two different stakeholders mapping. This stakeholders mapping had the objective to identify those that are more important to the project. So, what are our main recommendations for convincing our stakeholders? For IDA and Singapore government, we suggest that you should involve them as much as possible and make some concessions regarding the IN 2015 master plan. For the M1 shareholders, we suggest that a good monetary proposal should be done, and if possible, let them stay with a little stake so that they also get some benefits from our future strategy for M1. Now, last and probably the most important, how are you going to convince Red Sea Investments? Our suggestion is that they should know exactly what you are going to do, what you are going to plan, and that this plan should be as careful as possible. So, what is our suggestions for the partnership? We have first to consider that M1 is a very different deal. So, what we suggest is that a joint venture should be done between Sadiki Capital and Red Sea Investments, where Red Sea Investments, considering that have the capital, should have 70% and Sadiki Capital 30%. In order to accomplish the objectives regarding the M1 acquisition, it is advisable to see the acquisition as a 10-stage process. First, you need to start up by building up the acquisition plan. Secondly,
you have to do the search process in which you determine which companies are according to the criteria you have previously defined, and then conduct a screening process in which you do a more rigorous and meticulous selection of the companies. Next, it is time to develop the integration plan, which is one of the most crucial stages of the acquisition process. Having done it, it is time to start off with the first contact and initiate the negotiation process. If everything goes as expected, in 3 months' time it will be time to close the deal and start off with the integration. Last but not least, you should conduct a post-closing evaluation determining if the acquisition accomplished the objectives determined. In the negotiation phase, the board of directors has to determine which is the best approach to the acquisition. The presented tree shows the different approaches available, and it is our belief that the best one is to start off with a friendly one. This way, we expect to determine early in the process some crucial factors, such as the combined long-term strategy, how the business will operate together, and the cultural integration, as well as who will lead the emerging company. Nonetheless, this has got some major disadvantage. It surrounds the element of surprise, and possible leaks might increase the purchase price. So, and what if this approach fails? Well, then we advise you to adopt the beer tactic, which consists of making a public proposal trying to force the target board to accept it. Another alternative is to make a tender offer, which, unfortunately, it is the most expensive tactics. Studies have documented that from 50 to 80% of the acquisition and merge fail to achieve the established objectives. Failure to focus on governance, leadership, and cultural issues before the acquisition is consummated will most likely guarantee that serious problems occur during the implementation phase. Other major risks, such as an integration too subtle and slow, the resistance of target employees, not obtaining the government approval, and not taking advantage of the human potential resources, are also to be avoided. The presented matrix shows the likelihood and the impact of the risks as stated on the company's successful acquisition.
In order to avoid the mentioned risks, you should allocate a team specifically to plan and manage the acquisition and integration, and define the leadership early in the process so that the integration doesn't last more than 90 days. You should also develop clear, current, and timely communication strategies and guarantee in advance that the company culture are compatible. Finally, keep the target's employees motivated and aware of the company culture and values.
A key factor for the integration plan is the construction of a new management team. We have that now. The current Mobile One management team is focused on quarterly results, so they have a lack of long-term view. They are conservative, but they have lots of experience. But we consider that the ideal team for this acquisition process has to be innovative, dynamic. They have to have a long-term view, and they will be experts in the area of 4G. To do that, we use the team management profile to the existing managers and to the new ones, and among the 8 available profiles, we choose 3 of them. So we think that the profile desired are creator innovator, assessor developer, and concluder producer.
Based on 9-stage acquisition approach previously presented, we conceived this implementation plan. We expect that building the acquisition and implementation plan should last 30 days with each. The complete integration should be completed in 90 days.
In an acquisition process, it is crucial not to overpay. We started by estimating the revenue growth and consequently the free cash flow with the growth forecast presented. We estimated a WACC of around 7.89%, which gave us a firm value of 2.9 billion. As a result, to get a controlling position, we consider that the winning offer will be between 1.5 to 2.2 billion. Finally, the return of investment will be between 10 to 15 years to red seed investment.
So if things doesn't go as expected, we previously decide that you must slip up the company and sell a substantial part of telecommunications.
Now that we have presented you with our strategic view, our solution and our recommendations to the acquisition of M1, it is time to see how will this help us to move to global markets.
So, as my colleague said, in order to move to global markets, a new model is required. We think that a software provider model, very simple, is the best strategy in order to attack new markets. This new company should have a very strong marketing focus and should be much more flexible than the previous model used in M1.
We hope that you appreciated our solution and work with you in the future.